I ain't gonna be on here long because I gotta get up and go to a school and help a kid. But I want to address something since everything has came to the internet. I'm not an internet type person. I don't like, and I don't even, I'm not saying it like that, as in, if like, I don't live for this stuff in a sense. I'm trying to find the right words. I don't live for it, and it's not for entertainment. Um, any issues that you see me with, like people in life, they don't be for attention. They don't be for drama. That is just me going to a person and addressing the situation. What I feel like I did wrong was going to social media about it. But at the same time, I feel like I was in the heat of the moment and I went to social media. But one thing I won't do is I won't get on social media and apologize. I will go to the person if I feel like I'm in the wrong and if I did something wrong or if it was just a miscommunication, then I will apologize personally to that person. But to get on social media and apologize like for everybody to see, first off, it's not genuine, and to me that feels like it's just more so entertainment, and it's not entertainment on my end. That is just me. What I addressed or what I share is just me believing, experiencing that, or a person is constantly throwing shots at me in a sense, and it's been going on a year, and a lot of times people say, "Why you always wait so long before you address something?" Well, I'm a very quiet person. I stay to myself. I have been trained since a kid. So everything that I'm going through right now with individuals, I have been going through that since elementary school. As in constantly being people throwing shots at me, people like secretly envying you, or they trying to one up against you, or they just doing certain things, and I just learned how to ignore it. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you cannot respond to individuals who think and feel that way about you, because I mean the only thing you really can do for individuals like that is not speaking on this situation, but speaking on people in general, what I have experienced. I need some water. You have to learn how to pray for them. Pray for them. Pray for yourself and how you feel, how it's making you feel, and how and leave it to God. Leave it to God and let God handle any situation or that person's heart and let God work on their heart. But I understand, a lot of times, and okay, let me get back on track. So sometimes when you see me allow things to add up years after years after years, and then you finally see me respond. Like a lot of people who know me personally, know me from the heart, has really genuinely got to know me without envying your heart, without judgment, just off of you disliking me or hearing what other people having to say. But you actually get to know my mind. You will know that I'm very quiet and I don't start confrontation. But if you know me personally, you've been around me, you've been hearing things, you will know that a lot of times, if you ever see me respond to anybody, it's because I have noticed something. I have been, if you get what I'm saying. So, if you see me respond years later, it's because at the end of the day, I am a human. I'm a human, and I feel like I got a boundary, and I feel like that's common for people. You're a human being, you only can take so much. But do I feel like I was wrong in this situation? I feel like I have wronged God. As y'all know, I am on my spiritual journey of giving my life to Christ. I feel like I have wronged God because what I did, I feel like I did not please Him or glorify Him. I have been dealing with this situation for a couple of days. I ain't gonna lie to you, and it started with the song when he made that line on the song. It started. I've been like personally, as I've addressed this to him, I feel like I have been seeing different shots, been thrown at me and stuff like that. And then it started with that song, of asking how much money I make. I tell them touch their nose. And if y'all watch the YouTube video, I did genuinely ask them that question, just off of some, just genuine stuff, just communicating, not really caring about social media or the camera was on. That was just me building a bond and just, talking to him because that was our first time meeting. We don't know each other personally. He didn't even know my name. You know, that was our first time actually meeting personally. Him actually getting to know my name, who I am, and my vibe. You know, so the other stuff I won't address on here because at the end of the day, even though he brought it to social media, um, I'm going to continue to bring it to him. Even when I posted those comments, I wasn't really trying to bring people into what I was saying. I was only in my mind personally addressing him. And as I said, what I should have did, but I wasn't really thinking was to go to him personally. But I did text him before that though. I texted him before that, you know. And yeah, anything else, I feel like I can go to him and address it. Like what I feel like, why, you know, showing things that he said that I feel like was targeting me. I would go to him directly, but I would not put it on social media, because I'm not for entertainment. You know, my goal has always been since I got saved was to help the youth, to change the ghettos, to change the school systems, to make an impact in these kids' lives. You know, and I feel like throughout life, I constantly come across this stuff. You know, I came across it in workforces. I came across it in the church, and you would think you wouldn't go through things inside the church, but I have faced this same battle of constantly being attacked. You can be the quietest person. I'm the quietest person in the room, and you constantly get attacked. Subliminal shots. Now, if I'm constantly going through that all the time, and I'm remaining quiet, as a human, how much do y'all think I can take? You know, do you think I can continue to? I mean, I have learned to be quiet and let God fight for me. That is something I have been practicing. And where I did go wrong at, as I said, I believe I did not please God with this. And I went to God and asked for forgiveness for my sins and how I handled the situation instead of coming to Him and God fight going into prayer. I have been practicing. Yo, what's up, y'all? Going into prayer and telling God, okay, this is how I feel. This is, you know, this situation is still bothering me. How do I respond? How can I fix it? How do I turn away from it? How can I allow my heart and my mind to be at peace? And how can I allow my mind and all that to be at peace? You know, just give it to you instead of me responding and allow the devil to get to get into the situation. Because personally, on my journey, I allowed the devil to get in the situation because this is something that I feel like this has been bothering me since that song came out, you know. But every time I wanted to address it in the messages, I feel like I gotta pull back not to, you know, and I remain quiet. But in this situation, I feel like I allowed the devil to push instead of being quiet and listening to God. So I did go to God and I did ask God for prayers, and I prayed. I was really I was genuinely, sincere about apologizing and changing my ways, and and not allowing the devil to get in my head that way to cause strife instead of going to God and fixing the situation and letting it go. Because at the end of the day, as I get bigger, my journey is not like everybody else. I am not a content creator. My journey is not about just networking. I am on the road to becoming a leader and changing the ghettos. So my journey is different, So at the end of the day, I'm not for entertainment. I'm not for none of that stuff. I'm really working with kids who's on the pathway to dying to the gun or going to jail. That people are giving up on. That is my journey. That is my pathway. That is what I'm doing. You don't see me at certain events because I cannot go. Because my journey is different from everybody else. But as I get bigger, I know that I'm going to face a lot of hate. I'm going to face a lot of attacks. I'm going to face people see my journey all on social media. And now you have one person saying that I just go to hoods, bad neighborhoods. So it's going to be people like that. Like, you believe that I just go to bad neighborhoods, that's it. So in situations like that, you either learn to respond to it or let it go. And one thing I am learning how to do is learning how to be quiet and not respond. One thing I struggle with is I constantly have to respond to hate that I see that's coming my way, envy that I see that's coming my way, and that's something that I constantly struggle with from when I was 24 and a little bit of now. I'm getting better. I'm a lot better now, but before, I feel like I had to respond to every hate, every envy, every shot that I feel like was towards me. But right now, I am learning how to be quiet, and just let God handle these situations, because the bigger that I get, the more I'm going to face this stuff. I faced envy my whole life. I faced, like, people personally close to me hated me, for no reason. You will see somebody on the comments that I knew that I haven't spoke to in like 2015, no? 11 years. And as soon as people see an opportunity to attack, they do it, because it's exposing the people that just hate me. It's envy, and it comes with it. It's going to come with the journey. It's going to come even more as I get bigger. And I did, I'm actually glad that this whole situation was exposed in a sense. Because I feel like a part of it could fix the whole issue, the foundation of it, since it has been exposed. Now, because you sitting on something, like, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to show y'all. Like, I've been reading, for these past couple of weeks, I have been reading Bible scriptures. And Bible scriptures are learning and praying if I should address this situation, and I've been wanting to address this situation. Like, it was so many times that I was about to text and I didn't, because I feel like I had got to pull back, to not do it. So I never did. I never text my concerns. And one of the reasons why I feel like accountability. I feel like it wasn't going to be like, even if it was issues, I don't know if it would have been addressed. I don't know if it would have been, if you get what I'm saying. So I chose not to do it. So yeah, that was really that issue, The only thing I don't know. Anything though, I don't think I really look for attention. I don't really look for social media. I don't really look for clout. I don't need it. I'm already successful thanks because of God's foundation, God, who God is and what God is doing in my life. So I don't look for things to be posted so I can get clout. I don't need the clout from nobody. Nobody put me on. Nobody helped me get where I'm at today, as in clout wise. I'm not saying that nobody in general helped me get to where I'm at today, because that was false. Everybody who lifted me up with words, who helped me out, who gave me a ride, the janitor who threw me a cutie at times when I was in high school and I was the last person there because my ride never came, or they came hours late while everybody else was gone. People like that. My 6th grade teacher, and my Avid teacher, like so many people, like people in my family, like a lot of, like all those people helped me get where I'm at. But that's not what I mean. I mean, nobody put me on but God. No clout, no nothing. I am not the type of person to care for clout or go back and forth on social media. If I address you on social media, it's just personal. Me just going at you personally. I'm not focused on being seen by others. Most of the time, by the time I'm communicating with a person, the person that I'm addressing, you see me delete the comment, because it's not meant for everybody to see. I wasn't addressing the world. I was addressing the person. I'm not for the social media stuff. I'm trying to make change. I have real life kids who are struggling, who are in the streets, and as I said before, the main thing I did wrong was even addressing the whole situation. I should have not allowed the devil to get in my head and push it but I should have trusted God and listened to what He was saying and remained quiet. Even praying to God, or even journaling and expressing my situations and my feelings or what I'm experiencing, and going to God about the situation and letting God handle the situation, and allowing God to do whatever He feel like it is best to do, you know. But yeah, I don't really care to get on here and get big headed or speak out of ignorance, or speak out of things that I'm gonna turn around and ask God for forgiveness for. But I'm not gonna speak with an ego. I hope I'm not speaking with pride. If you read my book, my 14 days fast book, you will learn that I don't really care for pride. I might still have pride because I'm a human being, and I take it like I love to, like that's one thing I'm gonna how to be with God is honest, and authentic, But I don't really care for my ego. Like if you read my book, my new book that I just dropped, um, 14 days fast, then you will learn that I don't care for ego or pride. I talked about it in the school system when everybody started to go against me. And they wonder why I'm going back into the same thing. And you learn that I don't really care for that. I'm here for the kids. So a lot of times I'm a genuine person. I have always been genuine. I have always been real. You know, even the situation where the person that's in the comments that's talking crazy, I even had they backs at times when I knew that they were constantly going behind my back, slandering me, and saying all these crazy things about me. The whole time in my mind, I thought we was genuinely friends. The whole time behind the scenes, they hated me. They was envious of me. They was attacking me. They was speaking down on me. And a lot of times, what y'all see, if y'all see any hate that's coming my way, to me, it's envy, it's hatred, and something I always experience though. But my journey is it's not like everybody else. I don't really care to. I'm not on the journey of fame and success. You know, if you get what I'm saying, I'm on a journey for change, and I know with the change that I'm doing, and me being able to come across a lot of kids and change them and who they are, it's going to come with a lot of fame. It's going to come with a lot of attention, because I'm going inside the schools and I'm helping kids, changing their behaviors, and people are seeing change in them, and it's just shocking them because this same kid that a lot of people couldn't reach, you going in here and you helping them change, and that's God. That's God's power that He's allowing me to use as a gift. But like the extra stuff, I don't really care for, and I don't really care to be what people. I don't know, bro. I don't know what people are thinking. Honestly, I don't know. I stay to myself. I'm just trying to make sure these. Just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in people's minds. I don't know why people look at me and do all that stuff. I don't get it. The hate is gonna come. It's whatever. But as a human, I am learning how to just remain quiet. But sometimes I'm gonna mess up. And when I do mess up, I'm gonna take it to God. And if I did wrong to another person, then I will go to that person personally, not on social media. But at the same time, hate, bro. The hate is crazy. You know how many people just come out of the blue? You be thinking you like, dang, like I rock with you, and then out of nowhere it's hate. Like, dang, that's how you feel about me? You wouldn't even expect that. I'm like, dang, I thought we was cool. I thought it was genuine. And then you see a situation or you see something like, dang, it throws you off, catches you off guard. But yeah, I already hit them personally even before the status. I don't really care for the status either. This is what I mean. Like, I'm looking at the comments. And somebody, look, somebody from my own hood get on here and talking crazy. That's what I mean. Like, people be secretly envious of me and they wait until they get a right opportunity to finally expose it. So, a lot of times the individuals that always think like, oh, like when I be seeing it and I be seeing the issues that people are, the attacks and the subliminals and all that stuff, and I remain quiet, I see it and I finally speak up, and then they try to make it seem like, oh, she don't, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know, it's gaslighting, you know? And that's why a lot of times I do remain quiet, because I know a lot of times if I bring a situation to a person, a lot of times they're not going to take accountability and actually say, yeah, I was doing that. Yeah, I feel this way about you. Instead, if I bring it to an individual, which I all constantly have done, they reverse it and they make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm out of my mind. It's just stuff like that when they been doing it. So this situation is a great situation to see that, because a lot of these individuals who have been smiling in my face and rooting for me or whatever, or being quiet behind the scenes, they finally get the opportunity to come out and expose themselves. Like this person from my own hood that I looked out for, promoted his businesses multiple times, to where he even got like multiple individuals seeking to invest into his business, but here he is on a comment going against me. Then you can ask him, all right, what she ever did to you? Nothing. I just don't like her. Why? I don't know. Because she's shining. You know, because something about her that I want. You know? So instead of bettering myself and going to God and asking God, okay, this is how I feel. No, I'm going to hate another person, and I'm going to self-project, and I'm going to throw shots, I'm going to throw subliminals, and all this extra stuff. Secret competition, hidden agendas, all this stuff. That is why I said I am no longer, like, in the shoes that I'm in, I can no longer connect to anybody, just anybody anymore. And it's like, just in general, because this situation is just really exposing a lot of things that I need to see. You know, that I have to be careful who I put myself around, who I connect to, who I support, it's different things like that, because it is secret animosity. And people show that you're setting yourself up to be gaslighted. Exactly. That's why I remain quiet. I remain quiet. I don't say nothing, you know. I just let situations be, you know. But I'm also human, so I do have a breaking point, you know. So, but yeah, I do set myself up to be gaslighted. You know, they make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about, or they, just different things like that. It's always people close to you. Yeah, it is, and it's coming with the journey that I'm on, especially being the first person from Post Road to reach this level. You know, I have dealt with a lot of. That's why you don't see me connect with a lot of. I ain't even gonna get into that situation because I feel like that situation has came to a peaceful connection. But before, you didn't see me connect to certain individuals because when I try to connect with them, envy and competition and hidden competition came out of their heart, you know, and confused me. This was the beginning of my journey, you know, of me just looking for help, looking for, you know, guidance. And you come across individuals secretly envious of you, see in competition, and you bigger than me. I'm a nobody right now. How you envious and jealous of me and trying to go against me when your platform is bigger than mine? You know? And I remained quiet. Nobody knew about that situation. And that was years ago. Not this no, I'm not talking about the same person, I'm talking about somebody else. That was years ago, you know? And I never addressed it. I probably addressed it in a book. But other than that, I never came out publicly and said, oh, this person doing this person doing that. But even in the book, you don't even know who it is. You know? I never said names. I was just expressing myself, sharing my testimony, sharing my story. Just like this situation. Did nobody know that this was an issue until he posted it? Even if I commented and addressed him personally. I didn't broadcast it. I didn't even go on social media and say his name. I went into his comments and wrote him personally. He put it on social media for everybody to see. But I'm not a social media entertainment type. This is not entertainment. If I feel like a person is constantly throwing shots at me and saying subliminals and doing certain things that I'm knowing that I'm seeing, first, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to let it go. It is what it is. I'm going to unfollow you on social media like I did. I did unfollow him all on social media. We recently just followed, like, we didn't know each other. We don't know each other at all. You know, that downtown time was the first time we ever met personally. And it was cool and it was genuine. And even inside that video, you saw me show genuine love. I even walked around with them, you know. Even when I was about to go, it was all love. It was genuine. I'm a genuine person. I don't go around. I do not hang out with individuals I don't like. You know, that's what I'm not going to do. I'm probably the most genuine person, sincere, realest person you will ever meet in your life. You know, that's why you see me by myself. You know, you see me by myself. You don't see me with everybody. You don't see me with content creators. You don't see me in certain events. You don't see me because I see through a lot of stuff, but I just remain quiet. I don't come to social media or address it. If I feel like I have an issue, you'll see me address the person. Even if I address them in the wrong environment, you wouldn't probably even know that I addressed the person. Y'all don't even know that one of y'all favorite producers, he ain't up and robbed me, but I gave him money to produce a song, mix and master, and he stole the money. That's been years, you know? And nobody knew about that situation until I recently just wrote about it in my new book, but I never said his name. So any issues that I do have with a person, the internet, it's not the internet's business, you know? It's not for the internet. You might see me mess up and write it in the wrong environment, which I did. I wrote it in the wrong environment. I should have, which I did. I did write I did write in a text message. Then where I wronged it, I went to the comments and did it too. I should have never did that. I should have kept it in text messages. But then I seen that status, and I'm like, okay, hold on. Who he talking to? So that's why I said put a name on it, so I can personally address if this is about me or not. Because I already sent a text message before, and then I see this, you know. So yeah, nobody's gonna play me, y'all. I'm quiet. I'm a kind-hearted person. I stay to myself. You'll see me in the city walking by myself, but like I have learned how to set boundaries, you know. And yeah, it is what it is. But the internet stuff, I don't really care to go on the internet and address anything. No, it's not even about standing on business, you know, because at the end of the day, it's not really about that. you know. I just see stuff. I see what I see, you know. And when you get to a point of constantly, like, I'm not going to control it. I can't control that. I'm going to constantly come across people who will give me a hard time or throw shots or hate me or be secretly envious or, you know, hate me or whatever. That's going to come. I can't control it. I can't stop it. The only thing I could do is learn from this situation, allow God to grow me, because right now this is a weakness that I'm going through. This is a weakness, and I learned in the Bible how weaknesses are good, because when you're weak, it gives an opportunity for God to bring that weakness into a strength. So I have been weak in this situation of learning how to ignore things that I see that I'm experiencing, you know. So even though this situation turned out negative, it also turned out positive for my growth, because it allowed me to not fall into this situation again, you know. And even if this situation was miscommunication, and if it wasn't about me and certain things that he done over the year, then I would personally apologize to him personally, not on social media. I'm not doing that. Sorry. But if I still believe and feel and see and understand that this was constant shots that I've been going through, dealing with and just ignoring, then I will apologize for even addressing the situation, going on social media in the comments, instead of ignoring it and moving on. Or even just coming to him personally and saying, hey, you know, or finding a way to address it personally. You've been burning through my Cincinnati vlogs. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. So yeah, like somebody just DM me and asked me about the situation. Nowhere did you could see me. I'm about to show y'all. Hold on. Nowhere do you see me allowing that person to get into this information. You see, like, I could have like, I don't care for this internet stuff. Like, I'm just on here now because he put it on social media. Even though I still don't have to address anything, honestly. Because at the end of the day, I'm not getting clout. I don't care for clout. I'm not getting clout off this. I already have a platform. I'm already successful, you know. I have connections already, and that's higher up. I don't need clout from nobody. I don't need attention from nobody when my attention is to help the youth. Are you going to help me? Is the attention going to help me help the kids that need help? Then I will accept that. But tell me, what is attention or clout or whatever doing for me? What is it doing for my journey? What is it doing for my brand? When I already have clout, when I already have motion because of God, because of the gift that he blessed me with. What is it doing for me? Nothing. Like, I'm not gaining no clout from this. The same people he know, I know. The same people know him, support him, they know me. You know? So what clout am I gaining? You know, he travels to different cities. I do too. We go to the same city. So most of the time the same people know who we are in different cities too. So what clout am I trying to get? You know? Like, that's why I say, if you know me personally, anything that I bring to a person, I ain't looking for clout. I don't care to go to the internet. I'm just trying to address you personally and see what's happening, you know? What the heck just happened? Oh, there it go. Like, I don't really care for the extra stuff. Like, Then they said I had secret animosity. Why would I have secret animosity? I literally, if I like, we've been texting since that video downtown with the finals. If I had any secret animosity towards him, do y'all think I would be texting, like, going out of my way to write them back? Like, if you read the text messages, it's just me, like, showing love. I even told them about the event, you know, connected to another actual celebrity, you know. And if I was secretly envious or hateful towards a person, no, they didn't say. They said hidden hate. I don't know. If I had hidden hate towards another person, why would I connect you and myself, choosing to connect you with myself and another actual celebrity that is known around the world, like a real celebrity? Like, why would I do that? That situation could have boosted me and you. So if I hated you in some way or whatever, why would I put you in a situation or a position to level up a lot more than what you are? You know? Because what the heck? Like, why would I do that? If I hated you, I would have never responded to you. I would have never got in your videos. I would have never did nothing like that. But I don't. I show genuine love. I'm genuine. I'm a genuine person, whether you believe it or not. You know? Say, like, you've been putting, like, saying my name. I don't believe that. Because I don't believe that. Sorry. But yeah, it's been going on. This stuff has been going on since I was riding the bus. Last summer. Yeah, I have personally been seeing all this stuff. I just remained quiet and ignored it. Sometimes I did respond in ways like certain things is messing up the city. Like, I would say stuff like that. But yeah. One thing the world tries to do is they attack. And then they make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about when I finally address it. And this probably has nothing to do with him. I'm just speaking in general because it could be miscommunication. Or it might not be miscommunication, you know. It is what it is, you know. I'm willing to. I address the situation, as I said before, where I went wrong at is breaking into the comments and addressing them instead of breaking into his text messages, which I did text. I did. I should have brought it to, if it was bothering me that much, even though I believe God was telling me to remain quiet, I should have brought it to his text messages and let it be, you know? But sometimes I don't like doing that because even if a person is talking about you, is that person going to take accountability and say that? You know, if a person is, you know, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I dealt with this my whole life, y'all. This is nothing new. What I'm explaining is nothing new. I have seen it with people who knew me, my own family. I have seen it with people who knew me personally, my own cousins. Like, everything that I'm saying to you, I have constantly experienced it everywhere I went, you know? And I just always remain quiet. And then what you would see is you would have one person, then you would have a group of a whole another individuals following this one person, and the only thing that they have in common is they hate me, you know. And if you ask them why, they don't know, you know, they don't know why they hate me. So everything that I'm explaining is something that I have always and constantly have experienced in my life, you know. That's why I said it is good why I even experienced this situation. You know, because it's going to teach me how to remain quiet and ignore it, not let it bother me to the point where I have to address it. Ignore it, let it go. It is what it is. You're successful. You're changing lives. It's not even about being successful. I made it off Post Road. I made it, like, a lot of people didn't think that I was going to make it in life. The same individual that's on the comments that said something crazy about me that I knew like 11 years ago. The last time I talked to them 11 years ago. I made a comment on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, Twitter. They wasn't following me on Twitter. But I said how this was like 2019. And I said, I'm going to be like Dr. King when I grow up. I mean, not grow up. I said one day I said my dream is to become like Dr. King. The same person that's on the comments that's talking crazy laughed at my dream. You know, that should tell you right there that that individual, somebody I just have to pray for, that never really had never had genuine feelings for me in any like. And that's what I mean, like when the situation is right and people get a opportunity to attack, they're gonna do it. It's just a part of life. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of being successful. Like, don't ever think that everybody loves you, because that is false. Like, if you personally, you watching this video, you get in a situation where it allows people who secretly hate you and envy you to speak, they're gonna do it. You know, and it's gonna throw you off track. It's gonna throw you off guard. Like, dang, I didn't know you hated me. I didn't know you felt this way about me. You know, but everybody has it. You know, but I messed up for allowing myself to get off track. I like somebody from my own hood, like, finally spoke up and showed their true feelings for me. You know, like, this is nothing new. I faced this with my own family, y'all. Literally, I faced this with my own family. It's nothing new. Like, you will be amazed. Like, dang, this is nothing new for me. It just get tiring, you know, because it gets tiring because it comes to a point, like, it gets tiring because I'm a genuine person, you know. And when you're a genuine person and you constantly face a lot of hate, it gets tiring. You know, it gets irritating, it gets annoying, you know, because it's like, okay, like, this stuff is annoying, you know. But I accepted this journey, you know. I accepted this road that God blessed me with, and all I'm going through is a learning point in my, like, this is a learning point. Again, it's not for the internet. It's still not for the internet. I haven't, like, I don't really care for entertainment, or anything like that, you know. I don't need it. I'm successful. I'm doing well, you know. Me addressing them was something I personally was addressing, you know, to them. Them posting on social media just for social media see, it had nothing to do with me, you know. I don't really care for it. As you see the way that I was responding, you know. If I really, like, basically, if you see how I responded with the threatening part, let me find the right words for that. To whatever I said, I don't remember, but I remember the foundation of it. It is to not allow yourself to get involved in issues that can lead to bigger issues, because that's what drama can do. It can cause issues, you know. Drama can cause issues that can escalate, you know. And as I said, even with myself, as I wrote also text messages, I said, even myself, I don't even get involved in drama because it brings issues. If I'm on a journey of actually changing the ghettos and changing the youth, how can I do that when I'm also involved in issues and drama? You know? That does nothing. And it doesn't show kids another way. You know, but yeah, I understand. No, I'm not even going to get into that, because I'm not going to allow people to make it seem like certain, you know, I'm not going to do that. You know? I'm not going to do that. But the threatening part, yeah. I don't need to threaten a person. If I'm not that type of person. Like, if you really think I'm going to throw my life away to come after you, that means I don't love these kids. And if you know me personally and you really got to know me and pick my brain and see how I connect with kids, you know personally that I would never throw my life away and take myself out of the lives of kids that actually need me. You know that if you know me personally, you know that I actually love what I do, and I'm sincere and I'm genuine. I'm very passionate. So go on social media, if you actually know me personally, you know that I am not the type of person to actually go on social media and show my hand if I really wanted to do something to anybody. The person probably wouldn't even know that I'm after them. What the heck? But that is if you know me personally. You know, if I'm after a person, which I'm not after nobody, that person will not know I'm after them. You know, that person will never know. That would not know at all. So one thing I would not do, yeah. But you would only know that if you know me personally. You know, if you got to actually get to know me and pick my brain. But if you knew me and got to know me personally, you would know everything about me and sincere and genuine. You know, I come off very humble. I don't. When people brag about me, I shut it down. You know, because I don't care to. You know, I just shut it down. You know, and I genuinely shut it down. You know, I don't. I'm blessed to be humble. I'm thankful that God blessed me with a humble spirit. That's why you don't see me on here bragging or saying this and that, you know? You don't see that, you know? You just see me dropping videos, sharing pictures with the kids, working with the kids, and moving on. You know, I don't really care to be I want to be the biggest in helping the youth change their lives. Now, if it was a award ceremony and they said Mentor of the Year, yeah, I would expect my name to be on there and I would expect to win. Because that's where I want to be the biggest at. I want to be the biggest at being known to actually changing the lives and the behaviors and the situations and the academic areas of these kids. Especially in the public school system, which most of the kids that are in the ghettos or who have behaviors are at. And it's everywhere in America. If you look at all public schools in America, most of them are kids that are from poverty. Mostly black kids. But as you know, I have been in the education system for a while now, for 5 years. You have learned that it's all cultures. It's not just black kids, but it's majority of black kids. But if you look at all the stuff in the world, all the public schools, you see the same cycle. Now, if I could be the biggest in that and coming up with crazy ideas and changing all the public schools in America and going against the government's agenda, then yeah, I would love to be the biggest in that. But this other stuff, I don't care for it. I'm getting off at 12. I don't care for it. I don't care for that stuff. You're right, partner. Thank you. I do believe I have already changed people's lives. I have already did that, and I have changed kids. I have had kids constantly write me and tell me how much I have changed their lives. You know, literally kids come to me and tell me I have changed their lives. I have inspired them in some way. Like I'm working with a kid right now. I have met this kid only a week. If I show you his paperwork, this kid was never in school last year. If I show you his paperwork now, which I will not do, it will show you change within a week. And it's not from my own doing. It's the gift that God has blessed me with to be able to do. His behavior has changed. He's allowed me to even get him to do his work. He's listening to my advice. Like, that's what I focus on, you know? My life is centered around that, you know? Anything else I don't care for. As again, one thing I did wrong was not ignoring it. I should have ignored it. I should have went to God. I should have prayed. I should have let it go. And if it was getting too strong, I should have just wrote it down and went to God again and prayed and let it go. And even prayed for the individual. I felt short because I responded. I allowed the devil to trick me out of my spot and to respond out of strife for another individual when the Bible does promote pushing peace with one another, pushing peace with others, you know? And I fell short. And I did go to God and I asked for forgiveness for falling short, for causing that situation, you know? And even I went to the person privately, not on social media. He said, come on social media and apologize. That is the difference between me and him, in a sense. You know, I don't live for this stuff. I don't live for social media. I'm only using social media to push out my mission and my passion. That's why I do YouTube. Like when you see my first ever YouTube video, what do you see? You see kids on Brentwood. You see my Brentwood video, me, my first kids that I started to mentor. That is the first video you see, and I'm about to show y'all. So that's why you see me on social media. If it was never social media, I would if my passion didn't like need social media, I would not be on social media. But I'm about to show y'all so y'all can see that my journey has always been genuine. My journey has always been true. It has always been about the youth. It has always been about change. It has always been about bettering the ghetto, starting with my own Brentwood, which is now halfway knocked down. The front of them, the front buildings are gone. There's no more buildings on Brentwood in the front. So what do y'all see? Y'all see this song right here, a positive song that I made. I'm gonna get off here at 12, y'all. Hold on, y'all. So y'all can see all this stuff was always genuine. It was always sincere. But when y'all see me respond to stuff like this, it's not because I'm looking for clout or I'm trying to look for issues. Like stuff like this. I'm not listening to that song, but yeah, what you see? You see my first vlog on Brentwood, me on the news about Brentwood getting cleaned up, like me encouraging kids in this video, encouraging people how I made it out the hood, denouncing what I was born into. When that's when I started going on my own journey, stuff like that, encouraging people. Storytelling. This is my little cousin who got killed. That's his mama. That's my actual cousin. They from Brentwood. I was sharing the stories of the issues in the ghettos. Encouraging people. With the kids again. My niece on the news. Storytelling. Also share my journey. My favorite book author. He passed away. His name Dr. Jawanza Kajufu. He died recently. Probably a couple months ago. But yeah. It has never been about any other stuff. My journey has always been positive. I have never been a type of person to look for clout or cause issues, If you see me come out of character, it's because I have noticed something. And I finally spoke up after it. And if you ever see me speak up on a situation, it's because I have seen it for a very long time, and I hit a breaking point. That's it. But yeah, as I said before, if it was just a miscommunication, then I could sort that out with him personally, not on social media. And if I was wrong, then I have no problem with apologizing. If it was just miscommunication and I was wrong, I have no problem with apologizing and take accountability. That's no issue. I would happily, as I said, I would happily actually do that. But this, it's really not even a big deal for real, honestly. But they made it a big deal, honestly. When you think about it, it's not really a big deal because I brought it to them personally. I didn't post a big thing on social media for everybody to see. They made it a big deal. But once again, I don't really care for the social media stuff. The social media stuff is here and there. It's going to come and it's going to go. I always, support it. Even when they first started this journey, before they even dropped their first video, I actually show a lot of love. Actually, my first comment to them was I actually said, this is about to blow, before they dropped it. Any of their first videos. When I seen that they were about to drop their first, they was preparing, I said, yeah, this is about to blow you up. That was the first comment. And it was genuine, from the heart, sincere. And then as they start rising, I started to see certain things. I started to see winning shots, certain blows, certain subliminals. You know, like they the biggest YouTuber, and like they the one, they the only YouTuber making money in the city. The song, when I said brought up the song, that line, I said I don't know if this was about me, but I'm bringing this up too in a text message. When they said stuff like that, it's just so much. Like I have seen through this whole thing since the beginning. You know, I just haven't said anything. I have seen even when they was into it with another content creator, or I don't know, they had eyes, but they finally got over there. I seen that. You know, nobody probably even knew they was at odds, but I seen that. You know, and I constantly seeing stuff. I was seeing stuff constantly. You know, I just remained quiet because as I said before, people gonna do stuff. You know, this is gonna happen. You know, you cannot please everybody. You shouldn't please nobody. Period. You know, it's not your job to please the world. You know, but as again, you know, I'm about to get off here. They brought it to the internet. It wasn't really an internet thing. Only thing was just comments, which I did text also. But even in the text message, like they still posted it, you know. So I didn't really care for the internet. I was really just addressing a concern or something I was seeing that was bothering me and keeping it at that. But they are making it, I don't know. But y'all have a good night. It is what it is. I'm going to continue on my journey. I'm going to continue being successful. I'm going to continue to help the kids. I'm going to continue to do what I'm supposed to do to guide them the right way. I'm going to continue to learn how to ignore things that I see that's attacks or whatever the devil is trying to do. And I'm going to stay focused on my journey. I might fall short, but I'm glad God is a forgiving God and He has grace and He shows mercy. You know, and I'm thankful for His Son that, you know, dying for our sins because what I did was sinful. And I'm thankful that I'm able to go to God and ask for forgiveness for falling short in this situation and not listening. But I'm also thankful and grateful that I went through this experience to help me grow in my weakness. You know, so shout out to everybody who's rooting for me. Anybody who's, you know, this wasn't really a big deal. It could have really easily, it could have been easily addressed in text messages and all that. I did text. They still brought in social media, in that range and stuff like that. So sometimes it is what it is, but again, if it's a miscommunication, then it is. I'm willing to apologize. Even them, I'm gonna see if they see any wrong in their behaviors and what they did, you know, and I'm willing to move forward. Well, I'm willing to connect. I'm willing to move in a peaceful way and go on my journey and wish them well on theirs, you know, and be genuine about it, which I have been, you know, and continue on my journey while they go their separate way. I don't really care no more to connect with individuals here in certain lanes. I will still connect with others, but in certain lanes I will not do it because it does bring a lot of drama. It brings a lot of hidden competition. Everybody seems like they want to get at the top first. I want to be the biggest. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be able to surround myself with individuals who do have a genuine purpose and a genuine mission in this life that is short-lived. You know, we all going to live, we all going to die. And I want to be around, connect with individuals who have a genuine purpose, because if they have a genuine purpose and they're genuine about what they're doing in life, they don't care who's the hottest. They don't care who's the biggest. They don't care about nothing like that. They care about connecting to another individual who can help their purpose to actually help. For example, if I'm doing this truly for the kids, I don't care who's the biggest. I don't care nothing like that. You know, all I want to do is help these kids and be known for having the tools, the gift to actually shape their behavior so we can actually shift the direction that the youth are going. You know, especially inside the school systems, you know, where I spend most of my time. So, yeah, I would be willing to connect with individuals like that because my purpose would be helping the youth, you know. So that's why y'all see me connect with Queen Slip. He reached out to me. I connected with Queen Slip. I actually sent them to another rapper in the city, but I connected with Queen Split because even though he do the same thing that I do, it gave me an opportunity to share my passion, share my message about the youth. When I connected with that other kid who do vlogs, a lot of y'all was trying to get me to go against him. I wasn't going against him. No, because I don't really care for that. They try to get me to go against him. Somebody said you the real original vlogger. No. When I connected with that kid, which he's a lot younger than me, I took him to Brentwood. And I showed him around, we vlogged. And during that time, I taught him I was teaching him certain things about his titles. Maybe he already knew this, but he was he was literally wanting to learn, you know? So I was teaching him about his titles. I was teaching him about other YouTubers that do the same thing, to study their format and different things like that. I encouraged him to take over the city because I wasn't going to be here. That's why I left and went to Cincinnati. So the two little dudes, the two first videos y'all saw him do was individuals that reached out to me first. I chose not to do it, and they was passed to him, you know, because I didn't know how to guide the youth. I didn't want to film them and allow them to push negativity, so I didn't choose to do it. The 10th Street video, those kids reached out to me first. I didn't want to do it. Passed to him, you know. Even the St. Louis, the St. Louis one, his first St. Louis video. Yeah, I already know I shot a video with that kid months before. But in the situations like this, if I was just straight entertainment, this is what I mean. A lot of people get afraid and they try to compete and they have to be the one that's big or the next level or the best or something. Why can't you just focus on your journey and you know? Like, I know personally that I have passed individuals that's been around way before I was around. But I am not on the internet saying I'm bigger than them. No, I'm not doing it because my journey is, I'm passionate about my journey. I'm actually just focused on the youth. And in my mind, I know that if it's in God's will for me to even connect to, if I'm meant to connect with that person again that I'm talking about, as in who I passed up in a sense, I will do it if it's for the betterment of the youth, you know. But not everybody is built like you. Not everybody thinks like you. Not everybody has the same heart as you, you know. But here on out, I'm not going to give y'all a promise, but I'm going to say more so as I'm going to get better. As my friend said, a lot of things don't need a reaction. And she's taught me that when I was about to respond to my dad. In my mind, I had to respond to my dad. But here on out, I'm going to do better to not respond to things that I see. If I see that I'm being attacked, if I see subliminals, if I see hidden hate, envy, whatever, I'm not going to respond to it. You know, I'm going to respond in other ways, say to God, my journal. But other than that, I'm not going to respond. I'm going to stay to myself. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to connect to things that I don't really care to connect to anymore. And I'm going to stay positive. Like, just open my eyes. I got to make sure that I be around people who genuinely for me. Like, I have learned that so many people, like, I thought was for me, ain't. Like, a person from my own hood. Like, actually, I helped him out. You know, when he went to jail, I was sending money. You know? He didn't get the money because they didn't give it to him, but I was pushing to send money. But they ain't, like, it's stuff like that. Like, that shows you that you have to be careful. Because people really ain't happy for it. It's an envy. This is envy. You know, that's why you have to be careful. It's envy. You know, just like that dude, that 40-year-old. That 40-year-old don't know me from a can of paint. He never met me, never saw me, never talked to me. But you in comments attacking me. That's envy. That's jealousy. When it don't even have to be that way. You know? Especially me. I'm a genuine person. When people reach out to me for advice to get put on, to promote stuff, I do it. I just stopped doing it because I'm tired of being used and taken for granted. But I'm about to get off here, y'all. Y'all have a good night.